Hi guys, Coach Joel here. So for today's workout, we're gonna need some equipment. So we'll need a backpack and also 2 cans. As far as the warm-up is concerned for today, we're gonna be doing 2 rounds of 1 minute of jumping jacks, 30-second bear crawl, and then 30 seconds of glute bridges. Let's go over that form. So you're gonna basically place your feet together, your hands at your side, you're gonna touch overhead, and then tap your sides. Synchronize your upper body movement with your lower body, okay? Once you finish 1 minute of jumping jacks, which might not seem like a difficult thing, but it is, so take it easy, don't go too crazy, it's just a warm-up. Immediately after, we're gonna go into bear crawls, 30 seconds. So on the bear crawl, you want your knees to be directly underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders. You're gonna lift your knees about 2 to 3 inches off the ground, not shooting the hips up and not pushing that alignment back either. We stay on top of your shoulders and on top of your hands, and also on top of your knees. So as you step forward, you're gonna take your right hand and your left foot and step. Synchronize that movement, step, so you're stable. Step and step. You can retrace, take 2 steps, and then go right back forward. Notice how I'm not going up, stay nice and low. Once you finish that, we'll do 30 seconds of glute bridges, resting on your back. Place your heels directly underneath your knees, hands at your sides, and driving your hips up towards the ceiling until you get a straight line from the shoulders to the knees. So just like that, squeeze the glutes, tap, squeeze, tap, squeeze. Hold it briefly for a second at the top, and then go 1 time around, and then another. Once you finish your warm-up, we'll get into the balance of today, which is again on the floor in that quadruped position that we were in for the bear crawl. Now on this, we're gonna do 2 rounds, okay, of 10-second bird dog holding, and then 10 seconds on the opposite side. Once we finish that, we'll go into the dead bug, which is the similar movement pattern, but just resting on our back. So let's go over that. So on the bird dog, you'll place your knees on the floor, again underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders. Everything is nice and stacked. Now, this is a balanced posture here. So you're gonna brace your abs, your core. You're gonna extend the left leg back, sort of like standing, and then also extending your arm. Line up your bicep to the ear and just squeeze the left glute to maintain that leg in that standing position. So just imagine that you're able to stand in a horizontal position, I guess. And just hold for 10, and then place it down, then the opposite side for 10. Once you finish there, you're gonna reverse. Make sure that your spine is pressed up against the floor. Arms and thighs parallel to one another. You're gonna take your left arm and opposites again, brace your spine up against the floor and hold it there for 10 seconds. Bring it up, and then 10 seconds. If you notice that your back is arching, okay, as you extend that leg, that just means you need to bring that straightened leg a little bit higher until your spine is making contact to the floor. That's the most important part here, just stability in the spine, bracing, pushing the spine to the floor so you can actually use your abs. So if you tilt and you arch like this, that's gonna target your hip flexors. If you push your hips down and push that spine up against the floor, you're gonna work your abdominal region, okay? And that's what we want. Once you go 2 times around for each leg, and also, again, for the whole thing, we're gonna move on to the strength for today. So, today we got a 12-minute EMOM. It's skull crushers. I'll show you what that is for 30 seconds. Second minute, we're gonna go into kneeling single arm presses, then the same thing on the opposite side, and follow that up with some reverse flies, and that's where the can of beans comes from. Okay, so I'm gonna start right here on the floor. I'm gonna grab our backpack. You're gonna rest on your back. You can place your feet on the floor as well, but keep the legs bent, just like that. You're gonna grab your backpack, and I know the name is kind of crude, but that's why they call it skull crusher. So you keep your arms straight up, okay? You keep your hands lined up to your shoulders. You're gonna flex the elbows until you bring the backpack to your forehead. Once you do that, you extend. The only thing that's moving should be my forearms. My elbows are in a perpendicular position. They are in a static position as well. They're not moving, so that I use my tricep as the prime mover. So in order for me to extend the backpack from my forehead to a full extended position at the top, I need to use my triceps. Instead of rotating on the shoulders, I'm going to use my shoulders to stabilize my arms into place, and then I flex the elbows until I touch, or at least aim it underneath my forehead, hence the name skull crusher, and fully extend at the top. Once I do 30 seconds of this, I'm going to sit up, take a 30-second break, then I'm going to do a half kneeling position. It's just like a lunge, knee underneath my hip, and knee underneath my ankle on the front leg, okay? I'm going to grab the strap, bring it to my shoulder line, keep my core nice and tight. Here, squeeze my glute, and press all the way overhead. As you press, I want your arm to go past your head. Not in front of you, but past your head. You should be able to touch your bicep to your ear at the top, and do 30 seconds here. Once you finish 30 seconds, take a 30-second break, switch to the opposite side, do the same thing. Now, once you finish both sides, you're gonna go into the 4th minute of our EMOM, and it's gonna be rear flies, okay? Grab your cans or books or whatever you think is heavy enough and appropriate for you. You don't need a lot of weight with this because it is quite a difficult movement to maintain, okay? So what I want you to do is just hinge forward like we do on the bent over row. Now with this one, you're gonna stay in a static position on the whole body. The only thing that's going to move are your arms. Instead of the row, you can keep your arms straight, elbows straight, and you're basically gonna squeeze your shoulder blades. So maintain the shoulder blades squeezed together, then you're just gonna lift your arms, sort of like in a T position. Just like that. So again, squeeze the shoulder blades, arms straight, and lift, lift. This in itself, if done right, you don't need a lot of weight. What you want to prevent is the swinging of this. See this a lot. We're not flying here. You're not going nowhere. If you just cancel it by hinging and using that sort of momentum with your lower back, okay? Once you finish those 30 seconds, we'll run that through for 3 rounds, basically, since this is a 12-minute EMOM, okay? Once we finish there, we'll get into our conditioning, which will be a 2-minute AMRAP, okay? So it's gonna be 4 rounds of 2-minute AMRAP. So this is straight through. So we're doing 8 minutes total. We'll do 20 shoulder to overhead with the backpack again, 20 mountain climbers, and then following that will be an overhead hold for the remaining time. So let's go through. So we'll take the backpack and we'll do a shoulder to overhead. Bring it up here, grip it firmly. We go from the shoulder line, I'll give you a side view, overhead. Now with the shoulder to overhead, you could straight press it, which is this. No flexion or assistance from the body, it's just solely the shoulders. Or you could use your hip by dipping and driving. This is a push press. You could do either or. Once you get 20, you're gonna proceed to place the bag on the floor, go down to the deck, place your hands again underneath your shoulders, stack everything, and mountain climbers, 20. So it's 1, 2, 3. Once you get 20, each leg has to go once before it to be 1 rep. You're gonna go into an overhead hold. for the remaining time of those 2 minutes. Now, this could get a little spicy, so make sure you're locked out overhead, because as soon as you hit that 2-minute mark, guess what? You're gonna dip and drive. So if you didn't do the strict press, trust me, you're gonna start doing the push press, okay? You're gonna run that through for 2 minutes, which is 4 rounds, okay? As soon as we finish with the conditioning, we'll do some iron crosses, twists per side. So we're gonna hold for 90 seconds, okay, per side. So we'll lay down, lift, place your hands at your sides like a T, lift one leg, you touch, and place your lower back onto the ground, okay? Your glute, okay? Try to keep that leg as straight as possible and perpendicular. I know I can't because I'm really tight, but I'm trying, and I go up. 90 seconds, good. Place it down, opposite side. Once I hit 90 seconds on this side, we're done, all right? So after that, we're gonna do a needle, thread the needle, place both knees on the ground, hands stacked again. You're gonna extend the arm in, reach, stretch out as much as you can, and come up, reach, come up. Sort of drive that right shoulder down to the ground if you're using your right hand. Once you finish 90 seconds, you're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. Let me show you what that looks like from that angle. And touch. And touch. Once you've done there, you finish. So have a great day and enjoy the workout.